Prime Minister Mark Carney's China visit has brought the spotlight back to electric vehicles, EVs. There are questions about whether there will be any changes to the 100% tariffs on Chinese-made EVs. Here to talk more about the Canadian EV industry is Dr. Arvind Gupta, professor of computer science at the University of Toronto. And Doctor, thank you very much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
What would what would be good to come out of this meeting when it comes to EVs? I mean, there's that tariff on, but realistically, I don't think we'll see that disappear. What would be a good success from the Canadian side for EVs?
Well, I think what this is showing is that the EVs are the future mobility solution. And we're going to have EVs here. They're going to become adopted, whether it's Chinese EVs or other EVs. So the question for us is, how can Canada be part of this EV revolution?
Any concerns? I mean, we've seen a drop off in sales, the concerns about cold, EVs in the cold. Do you think this is just a blip as opposed to a longer term?
Yeah, I mean, definitely we're getting over some of these issues. If you look at Norway, where 90% of all new car sales are now EVs, Iceland, over 50% of new car sales are EVs. People are figuring these things out. It's just a matter of time before we see much wider adoption in Canada.
And why do you think there is the hesitancy with EVs in Canada?
Well, you know, we had the EV rebates, helped make them much more affordable. I think people were front-end loading their purchases while the rebates weren't there. We did see in the fourth quarter an increase again in EV sales. But for me, I look at electrification. When you see that countries like India, 75% increase in EV sales last year, when you see that worldwide, something like 35% of all cars are now electrified, this is all coming at us.
And we need to be in there somewhere.
We need to be part of that supply chain.
Now, should we be trying to build an EV or should we be trying to fit in?
Yeah, so different people have different views on this. From my perspective, we start developing core technology all the way along the supply chain. So it could be in critical mineral mining all the way to building the EVs, building the charging infrastructure, remediating batteries. I think that's in the place that not enough attention is being paid to.
Yeah, we have to get rid of them somewhere, right?
Yeah,
do something with them.
Well, you know, they're a great source of critical minerals. So remediating the batteries could be a big business. So we should be part of that whole system.
And how are we doing when it comes to being a part of it?
Yeah.
I mean, we've been so used to building gas engines that are gas-powered vehicles. Are we ready to kind of get into this?
Well, we definitely have companies who are very good at auto manufacturing, auto parts manufacturing. We have also lots of great technology. We have some great semiconductor companies. You know, EVs are essentially computers on wheels. So we're going to see a big need for advanced semiconductors, advanced control systems, software, as well as the robotics, the manufacturing side. So it's a big ecosystem. Mm-hmm. And the question really is, how do we become a critical player in that?
And you said there are Canadian companies that offer all the, are they taking advantage of it? Are they getting involved in it now?
Yeah, that's what we're finding. We're just launching a new initiative out of the University of Toronto, bringing a bunch of universities together to start developing these technologies, seeing lots of interest from companies who are looking to get a step ahead of their competitors. So I see lots of potential here.
And what is the next big breakthrough when it comes to EVs?
Yeah, if only I knew.
Well, what are you working on then? How about that? Or what are they working on?
Definitely, I think the semiconductor side is a big place. Maybe broader microelectronics is a place where we can be big players. I think battery technology, and you point out that in the cold, batteries don't last. So, what is the next?
We saw with Samsung, right? Samsung has
yeah,
talked about they had one that'll a 9-minute charge.
The solid state batteries are coming, and solid state batteries will have much faster charging, much better performance in the cold. So that's a place to think about. I think critical mineral mining. We know China is really the world leader in processing critical minerals, but creates a lot of pollution over there. So the world will be looking for places that can mine critical minerals in a more sustainable way. Big potential for us. We have a lot of critical minerals. So there's lots of places we can play, lots of companies in Canada that could be players in this area. We just got to make sure we give them the tools to get a step ahead of their competitors.
And that sounds like the political will, because I mean, with the critical minerals, we've talked about the Ring of Fire in Ontario, but we've talked about that. I think I remember doing stories on this 20 and 25 years ago. How do we convince people we have to move forward on this? What will it take? And expenses too. It's not cheap.
Well, going back to Mark Carney, I think this federal government has made it clear that they're on the move. They're going to get this stuff done. And so I'm looking for them to send those clear signals that we want to be a player in these various places. So whether it's critical minerals, whether it's battery technology, whether it's remediation, whether it's semiconductors, we need to be a player.
And we had a battery factory coming in here, but it seems like it's fallen apart, or we haven't heard much about it. Do we have the capacity and the will to do it, do you think?
We definitely have the know-how.
Yeah.
The tariff situation has created upheaval, and so we're going to have to get through that. But let's take some of our homegrown companies and get them up to speed. You're talking about battery manufacturing. I'm talking about, can we devise a next generation of batteries? So those next generation batteries are built here.
Any concerns that you're seeing the brain drain, people leaving here because they see the opportunities elsewhere?
Well, this is another reason that we should be developing these advanced technologies here. It'll keep our young people here. All the projects we've done have seen, really amazing talent, young people working on these ideas, wanting to stay here, wanting to commercialize here. So by focusing on advanced technology development, we will keep the talent in Canada.
But are we losing them now, though?
Definitely in some areas. I'm a computer science professor. We know that many of our young people are attracted to Silicon Valley. Once we start working on these kinds of projects, though, we see that many more of them stay. I think the latest statistic I saw is almost double the retention rate when we do the technology development here.
But the time is now.
We have to get moving on it. The time is always today.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Doctor, thank you very much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you.
I know you're ready to go home. You told me you just got in from India this morning at 6 o'clock. So go home and have a nap. But thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
That was Dr. Arvind Gupta, Professor of Computer Science at the University of Toronto.